My name is Dawson, and my aha moment came when I discovered two truths about passion. The first one is that one of the most valuable things you can do for anyone is to help them discover their passion and then to encourage them to live their life committed to living out that passion. The second, and it's linked to the first truth, is that passion is not man-made, but that it's a gift from God, and that He gives it and that He takes it away. I learned these truths when I was 50 years old. I'm not a pastor, and I'm a businessman who spent 30 years in three different professional careers. The first one was I was a corporate tax consultant with KPMG, one of the big accounting firms. Then I ran an investment banking practice for a large private family firm. And then I was an entrepreneur and the CEO of a distribution company which I sold to AutoZone about 10 years ago. At that point in my life, I'd accomplished a lot of what I wanted to do in the business career, and I began to search for what was I going to do next. What I realized is that in all those previous business careers, I had been motivated by passion, and that passion had risen and passion had gone down, and I moved on to a different one. I'm like a lot of lay people, business boomers in your congregation who reach a point in their life that Bob Buford calls halftime, where the things that you were passionate about, the things you worked for in the first half, are no longer the things that energize you. And you begin to pause and to say, what's really important in life and what am I going to do with my time, energy, and talent? When I reached that point of halftime in my life, the question for me was, what's going to be a meaningful life? What's going to bring me fulfillment and satisfaction and joy in the second half of my life? And so the first thing I did was look back and what had brought me meaning in the first half. And when you looked over the first half from college to 50, it wasn't the material success, it wasn't recognition, it wasn't being able to buy things. It was the energy and the excitement of being passionate about achieving a goal, about committing yourself to a challenge, to build a business or learn a new skill, or to do something that transformed you. And that the passion was what was important. I'd been broke times in my life and I'd had success and failure, but passion that drove me and gave me something exciting to be challenged for, that's what gave life real meaning. So the second question that I had to ask was, how do you get passion? And the more I looked at how passion had come and gone in my life, the more I realized that I didn't really control that. That passion had always been a gift from God. And that kind of like a hot air balloon, that when God gave me passion, my energy rose, my intensity grew, and that at some point after several years, I would lose that passion for whatever it was I was doing, and that once it was gone, I couldn't get it back. And at that point in my life, at 50 years old, I had not had passion since I'd sold my company. And the question became for me, how do I get that passion back? And if God is the giver of passion, if He's the one who can give you energy and intensity and joy in your work, then the first thing to do was to define, for the first time for me, how would Jesus define success? How would He measure a successful life? And in the course of that, I discovered that and realized that in order for Jesus to give me passion in my life, I would need to discover that calling on my life to do His work. So imagine if every successful boomer age business person in your congregation had reached that point in their life where what they were seeking was passion, and that you could help them discover the fact that God could give them the passion if they would surrender their life to do the work that God deems successful.